Hey, how's it going, everybody? Charlie Wilson here, aka Sinister Charlie. Welcome back. Hi. Yeah, we got some more Professor Lando. I haven't done this in a while. I one person suggested it, and I did a couple of videos, but it didn't seem like anybody liked him. So, let's get back to it. It's a very anime-heavy day. But we've got Astolfo explained. If you've never seen the girl or guy, it's a guy. It's supposed to be, but everybody memes this anime character. I don't know what anime it's from. I can't remember. It's been a long time, but let's go ahead and like it. And Astolfo explained. You'll see what I mean.
All right, students, settle down, take a seat. I'm your instructor, Professor Lando.
Hi,
Welcome
Professor.
to class. What are we learning about today?
Astolfo.
Astolfo has gripped the internet as the quintessential femboy mascot in the midst of the femboy cultural renaissance in
It is a
recent
femboy
years.
thing.
But who exactly was Astolfo? Well, in today's lesson, we'll be taking a look at the history and science behind the man under the skirt. But before that, I want to talk about today's class's sponsor, World of Warships, a free-to-play game available on PC and consoles where you command a massive naval fleet featuring some of history's most iconic war vessels and unlock new ships as you prepare to dominate the seas.
You know what's funny? I have played this game before. An internet pal wanted me to play it with him, so it's all right.
As a student here in my class, I know you love doing your assignments, studying for your exams, and dealing with your stern but attractive instructors.
Let's not go too
far. You can continue the school spirit with World of Warships collaboration with the popular anime series High School Fleet.
Oh my God.
Study for your grades.
No.
And conquer the 7 seas.
No.
You can check out this collaboration and download World of Warships by clicking the link in the description below.
They did a collaboration. All right.
And if you use the promo code HSF2023 when you register, you'll get a huge starter pack with over 40 unique maps and dynamic weather and graphics, as well as multiple ship classes such as battleships, destroyers, aircraft carriers, cruisers, or submarines. World of Warships releases new content
No offense.
every
Get yours.
single
Get your
month.
money, dog.
And you can download the game by clicking the link in the description. Check out the new collaboration with High School Fleet, as well as use the promo code HSF2023. 2023. Thank you to World of Warships for sponsoring today's class. Okay, let's get back to today's class. Astolfo.
Nice drawing,
The popularized image of Astolfo you see here originates from the series Fate Grand Order. It makes various appearances in different Fate media and shows. Here you see him with his iconic pink braided hair, his snaggletooth, and the clothing you've probably seen in your 6 dojins. And most importantly, you see him depicted in his iconic androgynous, one might say girly, form. In the media, it's stated that Astolfo dresses like this simply because he likes cute things. In terms of personality, Astolfo here is often...
just guys liking cute things, things.
Portrayed as having a lackadaisical and somewhat straightforward personality, often following his heart and doing as he pleases. And perhaps not exactly an airhead, but definitely bordering on being a little awkward at times.
Sure.
And if you didn't know, I'll provide some context for the series that popularized image of Astolfo comes from. That series, like I said, is Fate Grand Order, or simply the Fate series.
There you go.
And more often than not, this series takes historical figures,
from
history, and translates them into anime characters. Characters such as King Arthur are turned into cute blonde anime girls. Da Vinci is a MILF, and Alexander the Great is a little twink. But the reason for this lesson is that...
As it should be. I don't know.
that most of us are more familiar with the anime character, the portrayal of Astolfo that Fate gives us. So, who exactly was Astolfo? Let's start with the basics here. The name Astolfo originates from a Germanic name, Heistolf, excuse my pronunciation, with the part Heist meaning furious, and Ast referring to rod or spear. So I'm not kidding when I say this, that Astolfo's name is Furious Rod.
Hell yeah.
Angry Rod.
Angry Rod.
Rod. Furious Rod. So the
Raging Rod.
The question that we're asking is, who was the real Astolfo? Well, it all starts in France. The matter of France, to be exact, which refers to a body of stories and legends about the history of France. So again, this body of French stories, this period of French stories is referred to as the Matter of France. And there are three matters. First one being French.
Family
Second,
matters.
the Matter of Britain, which contains stories about King Arthur and his company. And the last matter is the Matter of Rome, which refers to ancient and Greek mythology, such as Zeus and the Greek gods. So I think most of you students are familiar when I talk about the Matter of Britain being about King Arthur and the Round Table, Lancelot. You're familiar with this. The Matter of Rome being about Zeus, the Greek gods. You're familiar with that as well. But what is the Matter of France about? Charlemagne, otherwise known as Charles the Great, was the king of the Franks and eventually came to be known as the first emperor of Western Europe after the infamous fall of Rome. And in the stories, Charlemagne had these paladins, 12 legendary knights that were called the 12 Peers. There are a myriad of stories in the Matter of France.
I haven't read a whole lot into
look
French
at one in particular,
history.
This one, Orlando Furioso, or The Frenzy of Orlando.
Yeah, that's what... So they call my friend from Florida, am I right?
So in taking a look at the epic poem known as Orlando Furioso, I'm not going to be reading you every excerpt that features Astolfo, but I'm going to be taking a look at the details, the little traits, and compare them with the popularized image of Astolfo and see what comparisons we can draw and the significance of that. So why don't we start with some surface level traits. Astolfo rode a horse, and excuse my pronunciation, his horse's name was Ravikano. And this wasn't a normal horse, no, it was a supernatural horse made of fire and wind. In his journey, there's a part where he rides a hippogriff. And if you're familiar with the Fate franchise, Astolfo is depicted with a hippogriff, which is a winged horse born of a mare and a griffin. And again, coming from the source material here, it says that Astolfo wears the spurs of St. George. And what do we have here? Yes, in fact, the modern Astolfo has spurs. Going forward, Astolfo also has a magic lance, which unseats all those it strikes. Going further, Astolfo is given a magic horn that renders all hearers helpless with terror, and Astolfo uses it against the various enemies in this journey. And again, what do we have here? In fact, Astolfo does carry a sort of battle horn in the Fate depiction. And lastly, I believe in the outlining of the devices of these characters, Astolfo is in possession of a magic book of counterspells. And so already I'm quite surprised by the sort of accuracies or inspirations that the popularized modern anime Astolfo draws from the source material. Spurs of St. George.
Sorry, I'm very phlegmy today. I apologize.
Horn, not depicted here, but in the game, he does in fact carry a lance and rides a hippogriff. I don't believe there's a magic book or his horse made of fire or wind, but overall, very striking similarities. Okay, let's go over very succinctly the adventures in Astolfo's journey. Mainly, he defeats Caligorante, excuse my pronunciation there, which is a giant. The giant.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the French had like this much like mythological stuff to it. I know that I guess the English do with King Arthur, because King Arthur isn't an historical figure necessarily, based on historical figures, but not like there was no King Arthur. So
is with his magic horn, blows it, knocking the giant back into the net, and Astolfo parades this giant around, having captured him. Astolfo defeats the thief named Aurelio, and it's not just any old thief. This thief has the power of regeneration, as in if you cut off his arm, it will grow back. So Astolfo cuts his head off, grabs it, runs away while being chased by Aurelio's body. And as it turns out, to defeat Aurelio and to stop his regenerative powers, you have to remove his hair. So Astolfo plucks off all of his hair and kills him. And lastly, he finds Orlando's lost wits, Orlando being one of the principal warriors in this story. And the way he does it is he rides his hippogriff on a search, flies up a mountain, meets St. John, who tells him that Orlando's wits are on where, you guessed it, the moon. And so Astolfo rides the prophet Elijah's flaming chariot to the moon to get Orlando's lost wits. And so those were kind of the three main stories, most interesting stories that may or may not be the ones highlighted on Wikipedia, but also the ones that stuck out to me in this story, Orlando.
Hey, you did more work than I'm
again,
willing to do,
I want
buddy.
to mention that Astolfo does appear in other stories in the matter of France. So we've talked about the who of Astolfo. But let's talk about the why. I want to know on why Astolfo is so popular and why he's become such an icon for femboys, besides the fact that he's funny. A little cutie. I think the main reason is related to his personality and the cultural phenomena of femboys being normalized, perhaps the realization in recent years. I said earlier that Astolfo looks the way he does simply because he likes cute things. And I think this simple trait is why he is Femboy Prime. He is the Optimus Prime of femboys. And it's not because of some lore thing where he was raised as a girl that you often see in animes. And ironically enough, it's not even a romantically gratifying thing either. For Astolfo, he just wants to be a little cutie. And I think that energy resonates with the countless people, mostly men, that yearn to be a little cutie. I think we want to be a little girly at times.
Little sissy
just
boys.
Like Astolfo. And don't get me wrong, I've gotten my nails done. I've worn a skirt once or twice.
I will say this. I have gotten a pedicure before, but it was with my girlfriend at the time. By the way, go get a pedicure. Pedicures they feel great. It's good stuff. If you want some cover and you have a girlfriend, make her take you. There you go, and you won't feel so awkward.
Twice or some amount of times, and it's not like I'm saying men aren't allowed to do these things or some kind of deeper grand statement about gender like that. I think it's simple. I think it's just we envy and idealize how simple it is for Astolfo. He's cute. He likes cute things.
Which is fine to be not normal,
by
the way.
Heart. So basically, I'm making the assertion that most of Astolfo's popularity stems from a sort of projection. We want to see ourselves in his shoes, or should I say, skirt. You might refer to this as a sort of movement, the femboy movement, and any great movement needs a leader. George Washington.
Absolutely.
Right place, right time. We needed a figurehead to champion the movement.
Femboy George Washington.
To be the exact character we needed, much like George Washington was in the formation of the United States of America. In Astolfo's case, I don't mean to cast a shadow on other hallmark characters during the rise of fembology. Characters such as Bridget, Link, Felix, they all played their part.
Felix, for sure.
Much like the culmination of events and people leading up to the Declaration of Independence in American history. Benjamin Franklin, John Hancock, Samuel Adams, I think. Each was an important figure on its own, but there was only one first president of the United States of America. That is George Washington. And Astolfo had the perfect mix of androgyny and punchy attitude to be the first president of fembology. So that's pretty much my lesson.
Go America.
Who, what, when, where, and why of Astolfo. So let's do a little bit of a summary. As with most things, it starts with the fall of the Roman Empire.
Yes.
Which eventually...
And we all think about the Roman Empire at least once a day. I don't think we need to do a poll for that. It's just, that's matter of fact.
Led to Charlemagne rising to power as the first emperor of Western Europe, which then led to the collection of stories known as the Matter of France, which contains the character Astolfo being one of the paladins under Charlemagne. And in tandem with this timeline, we have the creation of the civilization known as Japan, which eventually led to the creation of, you guessed it, anime. And underneath anime, the creation of the series that we went over known as Fate Grand Order. And in an amazing cross-pollination of culture and history, we have the creation of Astolfo in Fate Grand Order from the Astolfo, Duke Astolfo, in the Matter of France, the paladin underneath Charlemagne. And we're not done yet. Perhaps the most important aspect is the popularization of femboys in conjunction with Astolfo, the character originating from the fall of the Roman Empire.
It's also obvious when you think about it.
This cutie right here.
All right, there you go. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I haven't done that video in a while, or that channel in a while. Yeah, I'm a huge weeb, so it's funny to me. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe down below. Makes me feel real good inside and helps out my channel. So I appreciate it. And yeah, if you got any suggestions for any videos, don't be afraid to put those down below. Yeah, I need content. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And bye.